know, they certainly did up to March, and they stopped selling when Elon Musk started buying, which is very interesting. And then the sellers, since then, and you know, they are whale sellers that have been selling, since the OG stopped selling. The age of coins have been much younger, and we saw a lot of that heading into the tail end of March for the quarterly rebalance. So my guess is really the hedge funds that bought in the 10,000 band took a lot of profit. I think Ruffer was one of the funds that went on record.
So they sold half their position.
Yeah, so we're seeing, I think, a lot of these trading funds that are buying in for shorter term like positions, they're taking their 5 to 6x, and that's creating a bit of a cap in this zone here. So yeah, those are the sellers, is what I'm seeing very clearly based on the date of the coins that are moving into the exchanges.
And what does it mean for Bitcoin? Good, bad, or indifferent?
Well, you know, like the altcoin market, there's many ways we can look at it. Like the age-old way of looking at it is, look, these are alternative assets that you can trade in and out of. You do a backtrace on them, and I backtraced nearly 2,500 of them across all the history that there was, and more or less these assets trend down over multiple cycles. But the interesting thing about these assets is that they provide a kind of beater. Like it in a bull market they can go a lot higher than Bitcoin and will outperform Bitcoin, and a bear market they'll underperform, and they go through oscillations. So a lot of traders will particularly the crypto native traders, will trade in and out of altcoins in different phases of the market, particularly when Bitcoin's in a sideways band. So while you've got the sell-off coming from initially the whales from the OGs, and now the hedge funds selling off in the quarterly rebalancing, it's trapped Bitcoin in a sideways band. And then when you're in that zone, you also get these native traders that are like crypto native traders that are like going, okay, this is my opportunity. While Bitcoin's going sideways, I'm not going to get any gains on that. So I'm going to move capital out of Bitcoin and into these altcoin assets. And they're tiny little market caps. So they go all the way up on very small amounts of capital. So you get that kind of effect. That's the traditional way of explaining it. That is definitely happening. We're in a kind of a 2021 phase of the market where there's a lot of experimentation happening on DeFi. And so, there's a lot of legitimate experimentation, a lot of complete scams, but there's some very well-engineered DeFi projects that are well-engineered in their tokenomics to go upwards, extracting a lot of capital, and then you've got a lot of interesting projects that actually we didn't have in 2017 that look like they can hold the future of DeFi. Like, for example, FTX is a shining star of one of these derivative markets, and they've been creating serum DEX, and they've built that on Solana, and we've got exchanges there we can trade on now where the transaction fees are sub 1 penny. And all secured on a private key with no counterparty risk, or less counterparty risk, maybe a little bit more risk on that technology stack. But who doesn't want to trade without counterparty risk? These are very exciting projects, and if you were to think about how that looks like in the traditional world, the amount of capital in these derivative markets is huge. So these projects are really wanting to get a slice of essentially the future of finance, taking a lot of TradFi and moving on to DeFi. That's a big That's a big market right there. And so there's a lot of speculative fervor between even investors as much as traders that are like taking a ride on some of these more scalable next generation platforms. So I think that's it's a little bit more mature than the 2017 when we had no technology. You could raise money on a white paper and a whim and a good story. Now we're seeing some interesting technologies that may be able to carry some of the world's finance maybe in 4 years once it matures, once we get the bugs out of it. And a lot of people want to get in on the ground floor of that stuff,